A man born as a slave soon makes a great influence on the Boone County community by being a great gardener. This is the story of Henry Kirkland. Henry Kirkland was born on June 6, 1858 to Jacob and Jane Kirkland. They were slaves at the time. When he was 11 years old, they were free and they became one of the first African Americans to buy their own land in the Boone County area. A self-educated man, at the age of 15, he started working at J.B. Douglas Nursery and Greenhouse. Soon after, he bought his own horse and began delivering his product to local grocers.
He was a truck gardener, and he did own and deliver plants, and people would order their plants quite early from him. And he made quite a bit of money from this business because it wasn't just an African American business. He served the entire community of Boone County.
On May 1880, Henry married Martha Mattie Moss. That next year, he started teaching for the University of Missouri. Because he was an African American, he had to teach off campus.
He taught not only the African American community, but he also taught a lot of white people would come to his different seminars just to learn what his trick.
He held his seminars at the historic St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church. In 1904, Henry Kirkland participated in the Louisiana Purchase Centennial Explosion and exhibited his products. One of his products was a squash 12 inches in diameter, grown in a glass globe. Another exhibit was 14 Clyde strawberries, which filled a quart box. He won a gold medal and was presented with a diploma for Best Exhibit of Veggies. 3 years later, in 1907, he won a gold medal at the Jamestown Explosion in Norfolk, Virginia. Traveling to these different competitions did not only benefit him in rewards, but also in knowledge.
What he did that was quite clever is he went out east at one of the exhibitions. It probably was the Jamestown exhibition that he received quite a bit of awards and medals for his plants. But when he was there, he saw the irrigation system. And that irrigation system got him thinking, this is so much wiser than the use of water and how we have to drag the water to the plants. Why not have the water there to do the plants? Henry Kirkland's land was pretty flat, but one part had a high hill. And on this hill, he made a pond that caught water, and he had his own irrigation system where he didn't have to pay for water. But he also determined that this water source of his was quite fruitful, and it bled into all of his plants, and his plants did an amazing job. Even when they shouldn't have grown, his did grow.
Though he was known as Henry Kirkland, studies show that his name was actually John Henry Kirky.
Actually, Kirtley. Kirtley was the family's surname up until about, well, after he got married. He got married to Mattie Moss and under the name of Kirtley. Actually, he got married to Mattie Moss under the name of John Kirtley. And then later he went on by the name of Henry Kirkland.
You may ask, if he was born with a different name, what made him want to change his name? And how was he able to change his name?
After the Civil War, the Freedmen Act allowed any ex-slave to choose any name they wanted to have. A lot of people changed their names because at that point there was no such thing as vital records being registered like we have today, where we have birth and death and social security numbers are attached. They didn't have that, so they could accept any name. They were supposed to choose their name once, however, and then go with that name for the rest of their lives. That rarely happened.
Henry died at the age of 80 on August 14, 1938, from organic heart disease. His funeral was held at the same church he held his seminars, the St. Paul AME Church. In hopes that he would keep his legacy, he gave his estate to his two daughters that were living at the time. Unfortunately, his legacy did not last long, and his garden no longer exists on 13 West Whistler Street. Henry was a known and respected man in the Boone County area, and he will always be known as our fellow Uncle Henry. The black soil really does love the black man.